Rebecca, and I'm going to show you how to apply your Jamberry nail wraps. First things first, nail prep is super important, so you're going to want to wash your hands with dish soap. Now the reason you use dish soap is because you have a lot of oils on your hands, and dish soap gets rid of grease and oil on your dishes, so it's going to do the same on your hands. You don't want to use regular hand soap because a lot of the time that has moisturizers in it and it's going to leave a residue on your fingernails. So wash your hands thoroughly with dish soap first. Okay, so after you have washed your hands, you are going to want to push back all of the cuticles on all your fingernails. So I'm going to use an orange stick. I personally like to use this metal spoon pusher, cuticle pusher, but if you don't have one of these, an orange stick will do. So you're going to take this guy and you are going to just push back all your cuticles like that. You can do it on all your fingernails. Important is to make sure there's no cuticle or skin left on your nail at all. So some people have a little bit what we call invisible cuticle, kind of on the edge here of their nail. So just make sure you push back everything, because if there's any skin on there, your jams won't stick to skin. So it's important to make sure it's just nail exposed and everything has been pushed back nicely. Okay, so now that our hands are clean and our cuticles are pushed back, the last step of nail prep is to wipe your fingernails with rubbing alcohol. You can also use vinegar for this step. It's especially helpful for kids if you're applying junior gems. You're just going to take your rubbing alcohol wipe and wipe over the nail bed. So now to actually apply your jams. First thing you're going to want to do is cut your sheet in half. And to determine the size, you just place it over top of your fingers and see what will fit best. When you're choosing a size, you want to go slightly less narrow than your actual nail. Too small is better than too wide. The reason for this is you don't want it to be touching your cuticle at all. You want it to just touch your nail. So once you've determined the size, you cut out the jam that you're going to use. Now each jam will cover 2 nails. One on this hand and one on this hand. So first you're going to cut it in half. Now if this is slightly too wide for your nail, it's easy enough to change the size. All you would have to do is just cut a tiny sliver off the end. Now what I'm going to do is turn on my heater here. So you peel off the jam with tweezers. Now it's very important not to touch the sticky side with your fingers at all. Now you're going to want to heat this up. You can use a hairdryer, but I personally like my Jamberry mini heater much better. It's on right now and you can barely hear it. It's super quiet and it doesn't blast hot air at you quite like a hairdryer does. So definitely recommend that. So what you're going to want to do is heat this for just a couple seconds until it becomes flimsy. Just like that. And you're going to want to place it carefully on your nail, like so. Press it down on either side, like that. Now obviously this is far too long, so I'm just going to take my scissors and cut a little bit off the end there. Now the key to keeping your jams on is heat and pressure. So for pressure, I'm going to use an orange stick. I personally like this little rubber cuticle pusher, really. I prefer this, but if you don't have one, again, you can just use an orange stick. So you're going to press, and you're going to press hard. Common mistake I see is that people don't press quite hard enough, so you're going to really want to press this baby down. So next you're going to want a little bit more heat. So the trick that I use is to use a plastic baggie. So you're going to want to wrap this tightly around your nail so it gets a good seal all the way around the nail. Wrap it around tight and just hold it in front of your heat source for a couple seconds. Twist a little bit, get the edges, get the tip nice and hot. Add a little bit more pressure, well, a lot more pressure. Lots of pressure on there. And then you have your nail wrap on. Now you can see that it has slightly curved over the edge a little bit. So what you're going to do is you're going to wait for this to cool before you get rid of that tip. When it has cooled though, I'm just going to do this right now, take a nail file, and you're going to want to go at a 90-degree angle to your nail and file downwards. So just like this. And that little bit at the end comes off nice and clean. If you want to, you can reheat again. I like to do this just because more heat and more pressure can never hurt. So just reheat a little bit more, and there you go. That's your nail. Looks pretty good.